Hi, my name is James Scott and I'm the Director of Artistic Development here at Canberra Academy of Dramatic Art and will be the director of our next youth musical, Getting to Know Cinderella. Let me explain the Getting to Know You series. So a lot of the big musicals that have been on Broadway and the West End have got compacted versions, shortened versions of the show, which they've made available specifically for young audiences. So they run for an hour, hour and a quarter each. They've taken the best of the songs, and the Getting to Know series is from the Rogers and Hammerstein musicals. Last year we did Getting to Know the Sound of Music, and our next show, which we're performing in September, is Getting to Know Cinderella. Over the next couple of minutes, I want to talk to you a little bit about the process that we have here at Cardiff, the rehearsing and producing the show, what the expectations are for the kids and the parents who want to be involved in putting on Getting to Know Cinderella. So, first of all, let me give you the dates. So we're performing over the weekend, the 20th to the 23rd of September. The performances will be in our studio in Cardiff, which is in Fyshwick, 11 Whyalla Street, which is also the place where the rehearsals will be on the Saturdays for the 2 terms leading up to the shows. So each rehearsal goes for 3 hours. We have 2 casts for the show, one that rehearses Saturday mornings from 9:30 to 12:30, and then one which rehearses from 1 till 4 on the Saturday afternoons. And so you'll need to make a decision if you want to be in the show, which of those times suits you best for the rehearsals. You can't chop and change between them because each cast is specific to a group of people, and they'll be putting on one show, and then the other cast, or 2 shows actually, each cast puts on 2 shows, and so they'll do 1 show each on the Saturday and 1 show each on the Sunday. So if you know that you can only do Saturday mornings or can only do Saturday afternoons, when you register to be involved in the show, then let us know which one of those suits you best. If you're available for either, then put either in your registration form and we will work out which has the most need for, depending on the child's age and gender and the mix of the people already in the show, and match that up so that you can best fit in with that. As I mentioned, I'm the director of the show. This will be my 4th youth musical that I'm directing with Carter. I want to introduce to you, you'll see their pictures on the screen in a moment, Catherine Berry, who is the musical director and choreographer, and Tiana Kovac is going to be stage managing the show. So what will happen is we've got about 17 weeks of rehearsals, 17 Saturdays, which sounds like a lot, but in fact that's not very much time to put on an hour-long show, especially as, you know, we've got to teach dances, we've got to teach the singing, and we've got to teach the scenes. The kids have to learn their lines, we have to get them into costumes and build the set and everything. So it's not rushed, but it's not a luxurious pace. The first couple of weeks are spent auditioning the kids. So we get them to come in, we get to know their voices, what their capabilities are, and we try and match them up with parts. Auditions can be a really scary time for not just kids, for any actor. And so we make that a friendly, relaxed time. We get everybody singing together, and then we get them in small groups and singing. If there's certain parts that they know they want to audition for, then we get them singing those parts. Otherwise, we get them to sing generally and get a sense of their voices and assess what their capabilities are and match them to roles. Usually that takes the first 2 weeks, and then in the 3rd week we announce the cast of the show. That's how it's been in the past. So what are we looking for? Well, we're looking for kids who are interested in singing, dancing and acting, aged between 9 and 15. So if you've got a kid who's not interested in singing, then musical theatre is probably not the thing for them. If they don't like dancing at all, then it's probably not the best program for them. They might love singing and only tolerate dancing, and that's all right, or they might love dancing and tolerate singing, but if you've got a kid who really just doesn't sing and doesn't like to, then we've got heaps of drama programs which would be great for them, but probably not the musical. We're looking for people who are prepared to commit for 2 terms. So it's not a 10-week process, it's a 17-week process. So you need to know that you're going to be in Canberra for all of terms 2 and 3, and be around for the performance dates over the 20th to the 23rd of September. So if you know you're going to be away for a significant period of time during the terms, or not going to be around for that weekend in September, then maybe you'd like to wait for the next musical in term 4. We're doing the Addams Family Young at Part, and that's another great show which we will start rehearsing at the beginning of term 3. We're also looking for kids who are prepared to practice outside of just the Saturday rehearsals. So 3 hours on Saturday, it's good, we get a lot of practice done, but the kids need to learn lines, they need to go over their dances, they need to learn their parts and so forth. And so that requires a little bit of time each week, particularly if a kid's got a principal role, that they might have a whole song to learn. And it's really important that they don't just rely on the Saturday times to do that. So we're looking for kids that don't have to be hugely motivated kids, but we do need some time outside of the class, and we will require occasionally parents to help their kids and just help them keep motivated so that they can come prepared for the class. We're looking for kids who like to work as a team. Putting on a show is a team building exercise. It's a really cooperative process. And although we have some who have lead parts, everybody in the show has songs and they're part of the ensemble, part of the chorus. It's the story of Cinderella, which pretty much everybody knows that story. There's a famous Disney version. This is the Rodgers and Hammerstein version. It's got some terrific songs, including the Prince is Giving a Ball and 10 Minutes Ago. There's some beautiful songs in there and lots of parts, not only with Cinderella and the Prince and the stepsisters and the godmother and so forth, but lots of attendants at the ball and royalty and the court and all those sorts of things, mice and horses, all sorts of fantastic roles. And so being part of the show means accepting your place in that team and finding the best way to do your part and putting on a really good show. The other thing that we'd love kids to do is to tell other people about the show. So in the 2 terms leading up to it, for them to tell others about the show that they're part of so that their friends and family can come along and be part of it. They'll get a t-shirt with sort of advertising on it for the show that they can wear around, and when people say, oh, what's that? They can talk about the fact that they're in the show and invite people to come along. So that's kind of the expectation that we have of the kids. You're probably wondering, well, what will our expectations be on you as parents? Well, we recognise that parents are very busy these days, and you've probably got other kids or these kids that are involved in lots of activities. They've got debating or violin lessons or scouts or whatever it is, and it's fantastic that kids have so many things to do, but often that does put a lot of strain on parents to take them to so many things and be involved in lots of different ways. And so we try to minimise the requirements on you as parents. One thing you will have to do is bring your kids to rehearsals and pick them up on time. So drop them off on time and pick them up on time from rehearsals. We will ask you to help them learn their lines. Now, some kids will be fantastic at doing that on their own, and they'll go home and they'll take their scripts and they'll sit there and read their lines and learn their songs and practice their dancing. But there are some kids for whom it's a real challenge to get motivated to do that, and so they'll need a little bit of prompting. Have you learnt your lines? Can I help you with your lines? And maybe it involves you picking up a script and helping them practice those lines. Another expectation we have from parents, a request we have, is that you support the casting decisions. We have 20 to 30 kids in each cast, and we do our best over the first 3 weeks to make sure we match the right kids to the right cast, and that's to the right parts. And that's based on a whole lot of things: the quality of their singing voice, their acting, the experience they've had before, the potential that we see in them. And sometimes there's certain people who just look like certain characters that we think that person would be perfect for that role. But it's a really big process. And so we really ask that you as a parent respect the decisions that we make and encourage your kid, no matter what part they get, to really give everything to that part and to accept that. And that's part of the learning process of acting. One of the things I know in my experience as an actor is you go to lots of auditions and don't always get the part that you had your heart set on, but then you just focus on the part that you are given, and that's always a good experience as well. So we do ask for your support in that. One thing we're not going to ask you to do is to build set or to make costumes. If you love the idea of building set for a musical or sewing costumes, then we'd love to hear from you and try and incorporate your skills into the show, but there's certainly no expectation or requirement that you do that. There might be some costume items that we might ask kids to bring from home that are common things that we expect most kids to have, but on the whole we have somebody on costumes who makes the costumes for the show. We have a team of people who build the set, so there's no expectation for you to give up your time to be doing that. We're not going to send you down to Bunnings on a Saturday morning to sell sausages, to raise money, to fundraise for the show. So we do try and keep the strain on you as parents as small as possible. One other thing that we do ask you to do though is to tell others about the show. We'd love to see the friends and families of the students coming to see the fantastic work that your young people are doing. So each week at rehearsals, we ask the kids to bring certain things. Each of them will get a copy of the script. They come in a little booklet like this, which has all the script and the songs written out, and a little bit about what's involved in being an actor. And so they're learning music terminology, and they're learning script conventions and all sorts of things as part of the process of putting on the show. So each week we ask the kids to bring this along and a pencil, so that if there are notes that I or the musical director give, then they can write those down and remember the things that we tell them. Each week, each kid, we ask them to bring a snack for the break. So we've got a 3-hour rehearsal period, so we usually have a break halfway through that for 10 or 15 minutes. As is standard nowadays, we ask for no nuts to be brought along. Healthy food is always advised. Also, kids bring a drink bottle with some water in it, because we do dancing and it takes quite a lot of sweat out of the kids. We work really hard to keep them active through the session, so a drink bottle. And jazz shoes. So you can get jazz shoes, either tan or black jazz shoes, because we do during the dancing. It just helps the kids if they're wearing the right footwear, and then loose, comfortable clothing. So no really tight jeans, because that doesn't help with the dancing. So leggings or tracksuit pants or something like that they can move freely in. One thing we do ask is that the kids don't bring devices. Obviously lots of kids have mobile phones, and we accept that. We ask them to keep their mobile phones in the bag, but we don't want during the break everybody just turn to iPads and so forth. We do try and keep everything really social and keep building the team even during those break times. So that's most of the basics about the show. If it's something that sounds like it interests you, you can register online right now. Or you can, if you have further questions, we've got a frequently answered questions section below, and or if you want to speak to someone, you can call the Carter office, and Jamie Lee or Leonie will be there to talk to you and answer any further questions that you have. So I hope you decide that Getting to Know Cinderella is the show for you next, or for your kids next, and look forward to seeing your kids at our first rehearsal. Thanks very much.